Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title, in today's Pick a Card reading, we are going to be looking at messages from your loved one. This reading is going to have two parts to it. So in the first part, we're going to be finding out who this loved one is, who is coming forward and has a message for you. And I want to mention that your loved one, they could be incarnated here on Earth, or they could be on the other side. And also that they could be human, or they could be an animal, or they could be a spirit guide. So this reading is really open to whoever, whatever loved one of yours wants to come forward. I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but sometimes when I'm reading the groups, we do have like multiple energies showing up. So there could be one loved one coming through per group, or there could be multiple. So we'll just have to see how they want to express themselves. But with that being said, let's take a look at your options. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today, and each group has a crystal to help you pick. This is definitely one of those readings where I want to say feel free to choose as many groups as you feel drawn to, because you could have multiple loved ones who want to come forward and bring you messages, and there is no need to limit yourself. So without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1 is Druzy Agate. Option number 2 is Angelite. Option number 3 is Selenite. And option number 4 is Pink Chalcedony. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose this beautiful Druzy Agate heart, this is going to be a reading. So the first thing that we're going to do in this reading is figure out who your loved one is who is coming forward today. So we're going to do that with these cards here. And then we are going to move right into the messages that they have for you. So, I wanted to mention, for group number 1, so when I was filming the intro, you know, I do my little I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1, and then I point to the card. So when I was filming the intro and I pointed and said number 1, right in that moment the camera time was at 3:33. So I thought that that might be a significant number for this group, and this might be a number that your loved one uses to communicate with you, to say hi, to say they love you. Like their higher self sends you this number to communicate. So, okay, let's take a look at your cards. So we're starting off with the 9 of coins, the Hermit. I just saw 111 as well, and Judgment. Okay, and then for oracles, we have Back and Forth, Mars, and your higher self. And then we have Curiosity, Apophyllite, Jupiter, and Cognizance, Emerald, Mercury. All right, so let's go over some potential identifiers in these cards. In terms of zodiac signs, I think there's gonna be a lot here, but I'll name them anyway. We have Virgo, Pluto, so this could be Scorpio, Pisces, Sagittarius, Aries, Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo. So yeah, that is a lot, but maybe it is helpful. And then in terms of numbers, the numbers that are present here, they could be ages or age gaps, like the number of years between you and them. They could also be life path numbers, or like dates, like a month or a day. So we have 9, 9, 20, 26, 5, 22, 2, and 28, which could be significant numbers. So for dates, like for example 222 could be February 22nd or like 9/26, September 26th, or it could just be one number that is significant in their birthday. And then also the colors green and white could be significant because they're the colors of emerald and apophyllite. So for example, someone has green eyes or white hair or fur or something like that. And actually I have apophyllite here. It's really pretty. And then I have an emerald heart, which I just got recently. So let's put them here. Okay. While I'm definitely feeling that there is a person coming through here, if you have or had a cat, I'm also feeling kind of a cat-like energy from these cards, because what I'm seeing here is someone who is like very, very independent, very curious, and a little bit sassy. Like I get the feeling that there could be kind of a sassy cat here. And this is kind of silly, but back and forth is making me think of how cats like want to come in and then they want to get out, and they want to come in and they want to get out, and they're always like meowing inside or outside a door. So we could have a kitty friend with us in this reading. But I do feel that the main energy coming through here is that of a person. And I do feel that this is a highly independent person. I feel like this is someone who, it's not that they, well, actually, it could be that they like to be alone. And I think that as they get older, this would only become more and more so. As they get older and do more soul searching, and as they learn more about the world, I think this is someone who would have more and more so the tendency of kind of being a lone wolf. But I think that this person can very much thrive independently and thrive on their own because they are so capable and they have such a strong drive and willpower. And I think this person is very intelligent as well. So whatever it is that they want to do, they can just like set off and do it on their own. I think that this is someone who is likely very successful, or they have the potential to become very successful in the future. The way it's coming through is like there's strong indications of this person being self-employed or having that desire to be self-employed and do their own thing. However, even if they are an employee, it's like they're kind of the most competent person there. Like they're even more competent than like their superiors or even than their boss, or they don't really need that kind of direction or that kind of supervision. This is someone who really has the drive and the intellect and the initiative to just kind of take the reins and do their own thing. And I'm kind of getting a message that that could rub some people the wrong way, because this person could come across as not being a team player or not being interested in being a team player. And maybe that is true to some extent, but it's this feeling of like, I can do it on my own. I'm perfectly fine on my own. And honestly, the older I get and the more of the world I see, being alone is just more peaceful. That's the vibe I'm getting from them. With the Nine of corns, maybe corn is significant. Maybe they come from like farmlands or the Midwest. Is that where corn is grown? Anyway, that was a funny slip. With the Nine of Coins here, in addition to like success and abundance, there is also a strong feeling of appreciation that I get from this card. So this could be an indication that this is someone you are extremely grateful, or that they are extremely grateful for you. It is probably a mutual thing. Nine of Coins can also give me a feeling of like physical gifts. So this could be someone who gave you a lot of gifts, or who does give you a lot of gifts if they're incarnated, or they gave you one that is really, really sentimental to you. You might keep it around with you, or have this thing that reminds you of them. With this back and forth though, being right under this card of like, this person's, it feels like a lot of the time this person is off doing their own thing, or they have a really busy life. And I think that right away they want you to know that even when they're far away, or even when life might have them very busy, or their own ambition and drive that they can't ignore might have them going off and being a busybody, they're always thinking about you. Really, they're always thinking about you, and they're always sending you love. Because with back and forth, the feeling that I'm getting is that it's like sometimes this person is very present in your life, and then other times they might be more distant or more absent. And I think what they just want you to know is like, even if physically I'm far away from you, in spirit and emotionally, I'm always right there with you. Like, I'm literally always thinking about you. You might even give this person a lot of fuel and a lot of motivation to keep going. And it's coming through very strongly that like they need you to know you're always in their thoughts and you're always in their heart, and they're always with you. Yeah, with the Hermit here and with Mars, I do think that it's like this person's ambitions. It could be like their work or just their own pursuits, their own journey could sometimes make them feel less accessible, or make them feel like distant, or make them feel isolated from you. I feel like this might be someone who gets kind of antsy or kind of itchy if they're staying in the same place, or if they're getting too settled. It feels kind of like they're always on the pursuit for something new, with curiosity as well. Like they always want to be reaching new goals, or trying their hand at something else, or learning about something else. And I get a very like occupied and busybody kind of energy from this person. With Judgment and your higher self, I do believe that this is indicating a strong bond between your higher selves. Like we even saw at the beginning of the reading, that synchronicity that I saw, that really gave me the feeling that their higher self is always communicating with you. I feel like it's definitely not your first time around with this person, because Judgment does make me think of, and it's recently that I started thinking of it as like a reconciliation, a rebirth, a resurrection. And then with your higher self there, it's like, I don't know, I feel like your higher selves have done this together many times, and like this is someone that you do feel a very special bond with and very special appreciation towards. And I think that this is someone who is quite inspiring to you. I think that this person really brings out the best in you. It seems like with curiosity and cognizance here, what this person really appreciates about your connection is like the intellectual aspect. I think you guys have maybe had some amazing conversations together, and learned a lot from each other. But it's like, it feels like every time you speak to each other and share ideas, you just kind of remind each other of how amazing you are, and really shine a light on each other's good qualities. So you come out of that interaction feeling like charged up, feeling motivated, feeling like you can do anything, kind of feeling like on top of the world, and feeling like mentally and intellectually stimulated in a very nice way. So I think this person reminds you of all of the wonderful traits that you have, and really motivates you to become your best self and like align with your highest self's desires. Because Judgment is also a card that makes me think of your calling, your greater purpose in life, and like answering that call. So this could be someone who was a catalyst for you to awaken to your calling, or a motivation to pursue your calling. Like, I'm just looking at this heart lighting up on the higher self card. Like they've pulled on your heartstrings in some way, or they've lit something up within you. Yes, so I want to move on now to, well, we got a little bit of messages from them in this part, which was nice, but I want to move on to the next tarot deck. This is everything for like identifying who they are. So if this sounds like someone you know and someone whom you would like to hear from, then keep watching. But if you don't recognize someone you know here, or you don't want to hear from this person for whatever reason, you may want to try a different group, or maybe this is just not your reading today. But let's move on now to the further messages. There is something coming through of like, they're saying that you need to forgive yourself for something, because either you are still young, you need to forgive yourself because you are still so young, or you need to forgive yourself for something you did in the past because like you were so young and how could you have known any better? Like maybe if you have any guilt for like things you did in your childhood, or in your, even like in your teen years, it's like maybe you're being too hard on yourself. You did, you know, you did the best that you could with what you knew, and like literally just how developed your brain was at the time. And especially if you're really young, like you don't always have the faculties to express yourself in a healthy way. So you might like act out or do something bad to get attention or to get your feelings out. But there's also just this feeling of like, even now, even if you don't consider yourself young, there's a message of like the need to forgive yourself for not having it all figured out. I definitely get the feeling that this is likely an older person who would consider you to be young. Which I guess is pretty subjective, because like I even meet people in their 30s. Like I'm in my late 20s, but even sometimes people in their like mid or late 30s are like, oh, you're a baby. So, you know, someone considering you young, I guess, could be a lot of ages, but group number 1, what does this loved one want to say to you? We have the Conqueror of Wands, which I believe is the King of Wands. Here, I'm going to put it up like this. We have the Four of Wands. The Conqueror of Cups. So this is the King of Cups. And then we have the Fool. Okay, I checked and the Conqueror is actually Knights, so never mind. The Conqueror is Knights. So we have the Knight of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Fool. And actually, the first card that is really calling to me that I want to talk about is the Four of Wands. I actually never noticed that there's like, I don't know if you can see, but there's like castles in the background, and I never noticed that before, and it's really beautiful. But when it comes to messages from someone, the Four of Wands just tells me so clearly that you make this person really, really happy. Like, it's almost this feeling of you make me happier than I ever thought I could be. I feel like this person is either a family member or they consider you family because of how close your bond is. Or it could be that, depending on your relation to them, of course, it could be that they want to have a family with you in the future or have a home with you in the future. because you just make them feel so content and so peaceful and so blissful, and you make them feel safe, and they want to make you feel safe too. There's definitely a desire in this Four of Wands card of wanting to protect you. In a lot of decks, the wands are just like sticking up out of the ground, but in some decks they do form an enclosure like this, and when they do, this just really makes me think of like safety and protection. And actually it's interesting that we have that same shape, like the four-sided enclosure around the Knight of Cups. And I just heard like, I always knew that you were a special soul. This is like an older person or like someone who has known you for a long time. I just got the feeling of like a relative watching you grow up, or just someone who has a history with you. And they've kind of seen you grow. They've seen you come up against trials and tribulations, I think is the word. They've seen you come up against tests in your life. They've seen you go through good times and bad times. And they've always felt that you're like, it's like you're a sensitive soul, or you're a delicate soul. You're a pure soul. They've seen your compassion. They've seen your gentleness. They've seen your sincerity. And they just see you as a very pure soul, and like they want to protect you. And I'm not saying like, oh, you need protection, you can't take care of yourself or anything like that. But it's just that when they see you so sweet, so compassionate in this kind of harsh world, they just want to make sure that you're safe, and they want to make sure that you're secure. And it's like, don't let anything destroy that spirit that you have, because it's, you know, it's easy to become bitter in this world, and you know, it's easy to resent people or hold grudges or close up your heart. But with the Fool right next to the Knight of Cups, I think they're saying like, don't ever lose your purity, don't ever lose your compassion, because it's such a beautiful thing in this world, and it's such a rare thing in this world. And also it's more than just compassion. It's like, I always knew there was something special about you, and I feel like it has to do with like your spiritual gifts. They're like, I always knew that you had some kind of connection to the beyond, or you had some kind of special gift like that. Even if this person is skeptical, or if they're just like open and don't really know, and even if they can't really put their finger on it, I think they sense like a special gift about you. They sense the power of your higher self. And I think that they would say you're incredibly empathic and sensitive. I think this person has seen you, and they've seen how like energies, whether positive or negative, can affect you so deeply. And while that's a beautiful thing, it's like they just want to make sure that you're protected, that like delicateness or sensitivity that you have is protected. And like they're saying like, make sure you find someone, or make sure you find people who really honor that. Don't let the world like close you up or make you cold, but find your safe haven where you're enclosed like this, where you're protected, and you can let those beautiful qualities of you come out. And and they're saying like, don't ever stop smiling, because your smile is a gift to this world. Like when your laughter just lights up the room. It lights up. You might not realize this, you might not see this, but I see the effect that you have on other people when you're impassioned about something, when you're telling a story, when you're telling a joke. You don't notice, because you're so in the flow, you're so, what would you call it? Like in the zone of what you're talking about. But when I look around, I see how your words and just your energy affects people. I see how you move people deeply. I see how you light them up, how you put a smile on their face, how you bring them peace. It's like you don't realize how much of a light you are. You don't realize how much of a ray of sunshine you are. And so it's natural that everyone might want to get close to you, and you're very beautiful as well. But Keep your energy sacred. You know, there's that light that we can shine for everyone in the world, but protect that sensitivity inside of you, like that more intimate layer of you. And know that there is, like, your tribe is out there, your family is out there. We're here for you. Like, we will keep you safe. We will contain and protect that light. And I think there's also in here so much belief in you and so much faith in you. Like, you have the potential to achieve really great things that you may not even realize yet. And I think this part is more so from their higher self. Their higher self knows what you will go on to achieve and really sees that spark in you. And I think they would tell you, their higher self would tell you, that the universe has some amazing, like, you cannot even imagine, surprise blessings up their sleeve for you in the future. Keep going and keep being guided by your emotions and by your passions. And even by your whims. Like, this is a group where I feel like sometimes you might feel like you're acting on impulse. But it's not a reckless decision. That impulse is actually your soul beckoning you somewhere. So even if it kind of feels like a sudden random whim, like, as long as you're not hurting anyone or causing some damage, like, follow those whims, follow those urges, follow those impulses. This is their higher self saying that they will always lead you to an amazing experience, because that's really your soul. That's your higher self guiding you. Keep going boldly and confidently in the direction of what it is that makes you happy. You're just getting started. Like, you're these knights. Like, you're not a page. You've grown, you've evolved, but, like, I feel like your life is just getting set into motion. And so this person is conveying, like, a promise in your future and an excitement and, like, a pride that they have for you. And I think they're so excited. They're so excited to see what you will achieve, and they will definitely be watching and applauding and cheering you on, whether that's from here on earth or whether that's from the other side. Just know that they see you. Like, they see the moves that you're making. They see what you're out there doing, and they could not be more proud of you. Woo. And there's just that feeling of, like, wanting to protect you and, like, keep that smile on your face. Wow. So there's a couple more decks that I want to use to finish off the reading. So this is the... Wait, have I been saying what the decks are? Whatever. They will be linked. They'll be linked in the description. But yeah, for some reason I felt like using a couple of my Japanese oracle decks today. So we're going to finish off the reading with those. Oh, dream. So this person might visit you in your dreams, or they might dream about you very frequently. But I think this is also them. Oh, the pink color. It's like they're surrounding you with love and, like, watching over you or watching you and encouraging you as you go in the direction of your dreams. So this is definitely someone who sees all the amazing qualities. Sorry, I'm like stumbling with my words a lot today. Amazing qualities in you and really believes in you. We also have friends. This could be indicating, yeah, I feel like your higher selves are friends. This could be a friend in your earth life, but definitely your higher selves are very, very close friends. And then I also want to take couple from this deck. I think that this person also feels that your friends, your current friends, or like your future soul family, am so lucky to know you. And it's interesting when this person, I'm certain that your higher selves are friends and I'm certain that they move through the universe together. But it's like whenever this person talks about like your tribe or your soul family, they don't assume to include themselves in that. It's kind of this feeling of them not wanting to be presumptuous, you know? And it's kind of a feeling of, there's just been this feeling of them kind of as an onlooker, I guess. Like not really someone who's directly involved with what you're doing and what you're accomplishing, but just kind of like looking on and cheering you on. That could be because that's literally like the type of role they have in your life. Like they're not necessarily always like physically with you or directly involved with you, but they are watching you from afar and sending you love and encouragement. It could be also that they're, you know, watching over you from the other side. Or this could be their own subjective perspective that they don't really feel like a direct or very, very significant presence in your life. Okay, so from the final deck, and I think I'll take 2 from this deck as well. Ooh, we have Pegasus. Ooh, it's time to fly, spread your wings and fly free. So definitely a lot of motivational and encouraging messages. And interestingly, like I planned to put the card down here. I didn't do this on purpose, but it's cool how the Pegasus is like flying towards Jupiter, because Jupiter represents like, well, curiosity. So this could be like them encouraging you on some sort of educational pursuit or some pursuit of like learning, having a new experience. It could also be them encouraging you to travel. If you've been thinking of going on a trip or relocating, this could be them like giving you that green light, or like this is your sign to go. But Jupiter also has to do with abundance. So they could also be encouraging you in your professional and financial pursuits. Woo! And then we have, this could be the goddess of wind, or I think it could also be translated as the goddess of air. But this is about becoming a master of, if you master your intentions, you'll master your life. Wow. So if you get really clear on what your intentions are and you become like a master over your thoughts and a master over your mind, then you can become a master over your life. So maybe this is them hinting that the biggest obstacles in your way is like your own thoughts, your own worries, your own doubts, your own feelings of like, I can't do it. It's like this kind of gives me a mind over matter vibes. I just noticed too that we have 22, which could be a significant number. And we have the number 15 as well on here. But yeah, it's like if you're afraid of flying, if you're afraid of taking a leap of faith, they're letting you know that it's mind over matter. So like it's scarier in your mind than it actually is, if that makes sense. It's like your mind is building it up to be very scary, but when you go on it, it won't be that bad. A visual that I'm seeing is like someone who's really terrified to go on a roller coaster, but like once they're on it, they're having a blast. So it was really just like their mind was creating all of these scary stories around it, but the fact of the matter was that they would actually have an amazing time. So there could be something that right now you guys are afraid of doing, and this is them coming through to say like, no, you're going to be amazing at it, and most importantly, you're going to have a lot of fun. No matter what happens, you're going to enjoy yourself, you're going to learn something, and your key to success in this life is like become a master of your intentions and your thoughts. Yes, so group number 1, those are all the messages that I and your loved one have for you. So thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. That will be linked in the description as well as in the pinned comment. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below too. Group number ones, I'm sending so much love to you, to this loved one, to the cat who came through at the beginning, if that resonated with you, and also to your spirit guides and your spiritual team. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number twos. So if you guys chose the Angelite, this is going to be your reading. So the first thing that we're going to do is figure out who this loved one is who is coming forward with messages today. And we're going to do that by taking a look at these cards, and then we're going to move into reading the messages from them. I said this like halfway through group one's reading. I feel like maybe this is something I should have said at the beginning, but you can think of this part of the reading as an energy check. So if this does sound like someone whom you know and someone whom you would like to hear from today, then keep watching. However, if it doesn't sound like someone you know, or it sounds like someone that you don't want to hear from for whatever reason, then you may want to try listening to a different group, or maybe this is just not your reading today. But with that being said, let's take a look at the cards that we have for you. So we're starting off with the Queen of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Wands. And then for our oracle cards, we have True Love, Capricorn with Achieve, and Angels of the Four Directions. And then we have Larimar, Neptune, Perspective, and Opal, North Node, Expansion. Okay, so I want to start off by just pointing out things that could help to identify this person off the bat. So for zodiac signs, with the Queen of Swords here, we have air sign energy, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Two of Swords is associated with the moon in Libra, and the Five of Wands is associated with, I believe it's Saturn in Leo. Yes. And then we have Pisces energy here with Neptune. And I think, oh yeah, and obviously Capricorn with this Capricorn card here. And then also I want to point out the numbers that are here, as those could be significant as well. They could be ages, they could be age gaps, like the number of years between you and this person. They could also be dates, like either of the month or the day. So we have 2, 5, 22, 27, 4, 4, and 10. Did I mention life paths? They could also be like life path numbers. But what's coming through right away for this person is that they want you to know that they really do love you. Like, they truly love you so much. But I feel like in this reading, they're coming through almost in an apologetic way, because I feel like while, and it's interesting that we have energy and spirit here, it's like from an energetic perspective or from a soul perspective, this person has so much love for you and feels so lucky to have you. But I feel like sometimes, whether this is like a current thing that's going on or something that went down in the past, it's almost as if this person is recognizing that their actions and behaviors towards you didn't always reflect that. With Queen of Swords here, and also with this Capricorn energy, there is a strong indication that this could be like a parent or some kind of parental figure. Although I guess this could happen in any type of connection, but these two cards are kind of giving me strong parental authority figure vibes. But the Queen of Swords can indicate someone who is being a little bit emotionally distant or being strict and harsh, or both. With the Two of Swords right next to this could be a situation where this person was like hot and cold or was kind of unpredictable with you. And it's almost like, depending on what was going on in their life, depending on what they were going through, if they had a lot of tension, if they have a lot of stress, they might have been colder to you or more aloof towards you. But then when things were going well, they were like nicer to you, they were softer, they were more affectionate. But this created a dynamic where their treatment towards you seemed kind of unpredictable or kind of unreliable. It's like, I think they're acknowledging that they kind of weren't able to provide you with a constant stream of love and care and attention and reassurance. Because it's one thing to say like, you know, I love you, but I'm going through a lot right now. Or even just to acknowledge, like, I'm sorry if I've been acting a little bit strange lately, or if I haven't been showing up in the relationship the way I want to and the way you deserve lately. It's just that I've been experiencing XYZ mentally or emotionally. And, you know, so that's one thing. But then to just blindly project whatever you're going through on someone else and leaving them feeling confused, that's a whole other thing. And I think that's something that this person maybe feels like they need to apologize for. One example that's coming to my mind, like in the case that this is a parent, because the Queen of Swords can also indicate like separation. So an example of this would be like parents who are going through a divorce, and then the parent is kind of like withdrawing from the child or lashing out at the child or weirdly punishing them. It could also be a situation where this person was overly focused on their career and that caused them to become distant towards you, or they were overly focused on your achievements and they put too much pressure on you and they put too much focus on that. And maybe the love and affection that they gave you was like conditional on how well they were doing in their own stuff or how well you were doing. I just feel like this person is realizing a lot of the ways that they've shown you love before was unconditional, and like they need to own up to that, and they need to apologize for that. Because the Five of Wands is also a clear sign of conflict in a relationship, conflict with each other, a conflict of interest. You might have felt like you needed to compete or like to win over this person's attention or affection. These can also be really strong signs of inner conflict. So this person's behavior towards you might have made you feel confused. And I feel them coming through saying like, they want you to know that they really do love you. And I think they're acknowledging that they haven't always done the best job of demonstrating that, really showing that to you. With Angels of the Four Directions, this person could have had some sort of spiritual awakening, or like their journey towards their spirituality and their faith has brought them a lot of clarity and a lot of realizations that were maybe hard to swallow about their relationship with you and about the way that they behaved. I also feel like this could be indicating that they've prayed for you, like they've prayed for your happiness, or they've prayed for a closer or better relationship with you. The Angels of the Four Directions are Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, and I think Archangel Uriel. Those could be significant angels who are with you. But I feel like this is more so indicating this person has been going through some sort of spiritual journey, spiritual growth, and they've come to a lot of realizations about their past actions and significant, like how it's affected significant relationships in their life. And I think that's also what perspective and expansion is talking about. They've kind of gained a new perspective and they're able to look at themselves objectively and see the truth of the situation. It's interesting because Neptune can sometimes talk about illusions. So maybe they've realized that, like, maybe at the time they thought that they were being a good, whatever it was, parent, friend, partner. They weren't able to see their actions clearly or objectively. And I feel like that veil has been lifted. Neptune and this Piscean energy, and also even this like Capricorn is reminding me of the Devil card in tarot. There could have been, for some of you, like some kind of addiction that came in the way or that affected this relationship. Addictions or severe mental health issues, or yeah, something like that. I'm not saying that that is an excuse to treat anyone poorly, but it definitely could have created like a divide or put a strain on the relationship. I feel like this person has sort of come out of a dark night or some sort of heavy existential chapter in their life, and it's almost like they want to make amends and they want to make things right. They want to right their wrongs and continue to move forward. And so I feel strongly like this is someone who's coming through to ask for your forgiveness. And I will say, I do think that this person has done a lot of growth and their perspective has expanded a lot. They're able to see the truth of the situation. They're able to see things objectively. So let's move forward to the next deck. Hopefully by now you're able to recognize whether this is someone you know, and if so, who this is. And if you would like to continue hearing from them, that will be up to you. But if you feel like this is your group and you'd like to hear the further messages from them, then stick around. If not, please feel free to try another group, or maybe this is not your reading today. But we're gonna move into the next tarot deck now. Okay, for my group number 2s. So we have the 3 of Wands, the Sovereign of Swords. Oh wow, so that's the Queen of Swords again. The Conqueror of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And the 7 of Wands. Wow. Okay. So I want to talk about, actually, I think we can just go through these in order. So starting with the 3 of Wands, this person definitely wants a future with you and definitely wants to move forward. I think that if this person is currently incarnated on Earth, I would say it's quite likely that they're actually going to reach out and contact you quite soon if they haven't already, because the 3 of Wands does make me think of someone like making the first move, initiating, stepping out of their comfort zone when it comes to readings like this. It is an expansive energy, so I think that this is kind of reiterating how their mind has opened, their perspective has changed. I think they have done a lot of growth, and I think they have had a lot of spiritual expansion. And they would like to have a promising future or a happy future with you. I think that they also recognize, this is simultaneously a message of them recognizing that your future is very promising, and that they're very proud of the person you've become, and they know that you're going to achieve excellent things in this lifetime. amazing things in this lifetime. I think it's really interesting that we have a repetition of the Queen of Swords, but I want to sort of highlight the differences that we have between these two cards. For one, I think an interesting change is that this sword is now actually piercing through the crown, and swords represent, oh wow, they represent truth and mental clarity. So whereas here we see the sword is lying down and it's actually surrounded by clouds, which represent confusion, where this person once had like a blurred, it's like they had a misconstrued version of reality. They had their own version of reality that sort of protected them from who they were or from the repercussions of their actions. And now with this sword piercing through the crown and the clouds are gone, I feel like this is representing that they've seen things clearly. They see the truth. They've gotten clarity of the situation. I also want to point out the butterfly. This shows real lasting change in this person, because once a caterpillar changes into a butterfly, they cannot go back. So I do think that this person truly has changed, and it's not like they've become a different person, but it's like the dark clouds that were hanging over them, they've healed, they have faced their demons, and they've faced themselves, which takes a lot of courage, and they have gone through a metamorphosis. They've gone through a transformation because of that. And I also feel like with the roses here, this is indicating that they're ready to be vulnerable, because roses to me indicate like that sensitive, delicate, emotional, and vulnerable side of ourselves. And that's actually really admirable for the Queen of Swords to have, because, you know, the Queen of Swords in her kind of more negative, well, actually, having a healthy level of detachment from your emotions is not a negative thing, but obviously having too much can be detrimental. But the Queen of Swords also, when she's in her positive traits, she's able to discern and see the situation objectively. And I think when you're doing that, you realize the importance of vulnerability, the importance of being open with your emotions and being honest about your sensitivities, your weak spots, your fears. When you're always putting up this front and acting strong, it can be detrimental to your relationship. So I think this is showing like a change in them, where they're ready to be vulnerable and they're ready to be honest about their weaknesses and honest about their mistakes. With the Knight of Pentacles here, which interestingly also has a sword on it, something that is coming up here for me is that they might, this is either like a recognition that it's taken them a long time to get to this place, or that they might fear it's too late. They might fear that it's too late to like improve the relationship with you, or to have a clean slate with you, or just it's too late to apologize. But I want to be clear that that's not going to stop them from coming forward, because we have the Three of Wands and we also have the Seven of Wands, which I think is indicating like they might feel that it would be difficult, but it's worth the fight for them. Like, this is someone who is going to take action. So this is not one of those situations where they're like, I'm worried it's too late. Oh, I'm worried you'll be upset with me. And they kind of scare themselves out of coming forward as like, and it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. They're like, it might be too late. I might not be able to fix everything, but I have to try. So I do feel like you're going to hear from this person quite soon. And I also think that the Knight of Pentacles is indicating that no matter what, they are watching over you. So if they're incarnated on this earth, it's like they're always thinking about you. They're always wishing, they're praying for you. They're wishing for your happiness, for your safety. If they're on the other side, then they're definitely watching over you as like a spirit guide or a guardian angel. And you're never alone. I also think this could be another indication of how proud they are of you, and this is them encouraging you to keep going. Keep reaching for the stars, because I think they know that you're capable of so many great things. Wow. So there's a couple more oracle decks that I want to use in this reading. So let's see what other messages they have for you. Okay, we have the red thread of fate. So I feel like, yeah, this person has really changed. Like, I'm feeling the whole progression that they've went through. I think, first of all, I think that the relationship with you is one that they really, really value, and they would consider it to be one of the most significant relationships of their life. I think it's the relationship that has really taught them the most about themselves, about relationships in general, even about life as a whole. And I feel like this is someone who does believe in a higher power, destiny. Like, we all have a plan for our lives, and I think that this person would confidently say that a higher power did put you in their life, or did arrange for the two of you to have this life together. They feel a lot of destiny in the connection with you. But something else I'm picking up from this is that, another thing is that there's so much that reminds this person of you. And it's even like they feel like you're speaking to them, like your higher self is speaking to them, sending them signs, sending them messages. I feel like this person is always like being reminded of you or seeing signs and messages of you. You are really important and really precious to this person. But I'm feeling this progression in them where, like, they came out of this dark night of the soul, out of this intense period of realization. And there was a point where even after that, I think they were kind of scared to come forward, and they might have just left it up to fate. Like, if it's time to have this conversation with group number 2, if it's time for us to be in each other's lives and improve this connection more, then it will happen. Whereas now, they're like, no, I'm going to take ownership. I'm going to take action, and like putting it into their own hands. And this is so interesting. I just saw this quote, and I'd never heard it before, but I was like, wow, it just encompassed so well this truth that I had felt, but I don't know, it just put it into words really well. But it's like, you can't just, when you're like trying to catch a bus, it's like you can't just pray to catch the bus. You pray to catch the bus and then you run to catch it. So it's like you can do all of the praying and asking the divine, but at the end of the day, it's your action that will seal the deal. It's your action that will make it happen. And so this quote was like, you can't just pray to catch the bus, and you can't just run for the bus. You have to do both. You have to pray and then run. And so I feel like this person was previously in a phase of just like, I'm just praying for you. I'm just hoping that you're happy. And you might have caught this person, heard about this person, or suspected that they were watching you from afar, checking up on you. You might have felt their energy around you, or maybe this is like what you're feeling now. And I feel like that's because they were really longing for this reconnection with you and longing to have this kind of heart to heart and clearing the air with you. But they were still more in a passive place about it, just hoping that the divine would orchestrate it. But I think they're like, I can't wait for us to like magically bump into each other, or like for you to show up on my doorstep. Like, if this is something that I'm done just intending to love you or just thinking that I love you. Like, I have to show you. I have to show you with my actions how important you are. And then we also have stuck in a swamp. Yeah. So yeah, with the Knight of Pentacles too, this might be a situation that has been dragging on for quite some time, or a connection that has felt stagnant for quite some time. I feel like this is you, probably, and this is them who is like stuck in the swamp. maybe this is you realizing that, like, I can't help you out of this swamp unless you want to get out. You realize that you can't keep helping this person up, or every time you do help them up, they end up back here. And then you have to come back and help them again, because what we really need to do is let them learn how to climb, like to find the will and to climb out by themselves. So this might be spirit confirming to you guys that maybe that we can't keep extending ourselves to this person or keep trying to help this person, or that by you creating distance here, or I don't know if creating distance, yeah, like creating space or walking away, that created the environment for this person to learn how to get themselves out of that swamp and get themselves out of their stagnant energy. So I feel like this is spirit, but could also be the higher self of this person saying that, like, if you did walk away, you don't need to feel guilty about that, because it really was what this person needed to, like, learn how to take care of themselves and take accountability and learn how to, like, take initiative and take action and not just say things or think things or intend things or feel things, but like do things. I think that was a really important lesson for this person. And if you have felt the situation is moving slowly, that the energy has been stuck, I feel like this is your confirmation of that. And I actually can say that for this group. Like, this is not one of those like, oh, everything's fine, you just need to be patient. Like, I do feel like this person has struggled and has come up against blockages when it comes to moving towards you. Okay, so we're gonna pull a couple cards now from the final deck. Okay, so what are the final messages that person two's loved one has for them? I'm going to take these together and then we'll take a third one. So we have Dolphin. Oh, I just got this card when I was filming yesterday. It says, like, let's share with each other, that will spread the love. And then we have the unicorn and the fairy, and it says, oh, this is like, just take some time to spend doing whatever you want. Take some time to just enjoy. I'm loosely translating this, but like just enjoying your leisurely time, because that's also important. Both of these cards kind of give me, oh, also 32 and 38 could be significant numbers. Both of these cards kind of give me Three of Cups vibes. So maybe for some of you, this is like a friendship, a friend who is coming back. Or this is Spirit's guidance for you, like to spend time with your friends, to open up to your friends, to share with your friends. Yeah, I feel like Spirit and this person's higher self want you to be free, like from whatever has happened here, whether that's like painful memories, whether that's feelings of guilt, feelings of like wondering if you did something wrong. Spirit is saying be free, like be free from this, let your heart be at ease, because these cards are just encouraging you to like be with your friends, to share with your loved ones, to spend time doing what you like. It's basically Spirit saying that they want you to be at ease and happy, and they want you to be carefree. And also, unicorns make me think of like being yourself and being proud of being yourself. That might be something that you need to learn how to do in a carefree manner. You know, like be yourself without feeling weird about it, without being afraid of judgment, without feeling like it's wrong. This could also be like finding your community, your support system, your like-minded friends. Allow yourself to be at ease, and like don't, as easier said than done as this might be, like you're free to walk away from the heavy cloud of this connection or the past of this connection. You're free to release that guilt, shame, confusion, whatever it might be, like spirit. And I think this person's higher self want to see you lighthearted again. Sharing with your friends, sharing this story with your friends might be something that is helpful to you. And this could also indicate that like there might be a third party or like a mutual person who will play an important role. Like if this is a family member, maybe a mutual family member will play an important role in healing this connection, or like a mutual friend, whether that's like helping to bring you back together if that's something that you want, or sharing a story with you that's helpful. But yeah, all of that to say, like, be light, be at ease, and give yourself permission to let go. And then we have crystal. Ooh, so you're being guided by the secret magic and power of crystals. What are the crystals that you guys got? Larimar and opal. Oh yeah, opal's also related to the month of October. So that could be someone's birth month, or that could be a significant month. I don't know when this video is going to be up, but if October is coming up, it could be important. Actually don't have any Larimar because she's expensive, but I actually just got this the other day. This is Hemimorphite, and she kind of looks like Larimar, but she's much more reasonably priced. So I got one of these, and I do have raw opal, which is also more reasonable. And together these kind of look like a beach. Like this looks like the water, this looks like the sand. So maybe spending time by the water or spending time at a beach could be very healing for you guys. Like your spirit is calling you to go there. These could also be healing colors for you, like light blue or a golden color. Crystals could be really helpful for you guys in healing if you feel like there's something that needs to be healed from your past, from this connection, or just in general. Rose quartz is actually coming to my mind because this is a crystal that promotes universal love, self-love, love for others. Rhodochrosite as well. That stone makes me think of compassion, forgiveness, divine love, angelic support. Pink crystals could be very healing for this group as well. But I love that we have rainbow coloring on this card because we're speaking about the unicorn, which is like freeing yourself, allowing you to truly be yourself. And rainbows make me think of something very similar, like showing your true colors. So I'm wondering if there was like parts of your true self that you felt like you had to hide, especially in this kind of conditional love dynamic. And even though you may be physically free from that, there's like a part of you that remembers, I have to hide this part from myself. Or I can't show this to anyone. This part of me is bad. And it's time to unlearn that. And friendships could be really significant or really helpful in that. So I don't know. After reading for this group, I don't know if this is like someone you would want to move forward with. I can say it looks like they've done a massive amount of reflection and they've gone through a massive amount of growth. But I just find it interesting how like kind of towards the end of the reading, spirit was sort of taking over and bringing you messages. So, but it's very much up to you. I do think that you're going to hear from this person. I do think that you'll get to hear these messages directly from them. But that's everything that I see for this group. So group number 2 I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings, as well as new moon and full moon readings. That will be linked in the description and the pinned comment. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2s, I'm sending so much love to you, to this loved one who is coming through, to your friends, and to your spirit guides and your whole spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Selenite, this is going to be your reading. So the first thing that we're going to do is figure out who your loved one is who is coming forward with a message for you today. And we're going to do that by looking at these cards, and then we're going to get into the messages that they have for you. So you can think of this part of the reading as an energy check. If the person I'm describing here sounds like someone you know and someone you would like to hear from, then you can keep watching. But if it doesn't sound like someone you know, or if it doesn't sound like someone you would like to hear from, then you could try choosing another group, or maybe this is just not your reading today. But without further ado, let's take a look at our first cards. So we have the 5, that says 5, right? Yeah, the 5 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, and the Tower. And then for our oracle cards, we have Playing It Safe, Sixth House, Sustainability, and Happy Success. I'm gonna move these up a little bit. And then we have Azurite, Saturn, Discipline, and Turquoise, Earth Element, Perseverance. I don't know why it's so hard for my brain to like decide what order to read the words on these cards. Okay, so I want to start off by pointing out I guess hints that could identify this person. So for zodiac signs, here we have Venus in Aquarius, we have the Sun in Aries, and that's kind of cool because you can have a Sun in Aries with Venus in Aquarius. And then with the Tower, we have the planet Mars, so that could be again Aries or Scorpio energy. And then with the 6th house, we have some Virgo energy here. And then I also want to look at the numbers that are here, because these could be ages of this person or age gaps, like how many years are between the two of you. They could also be life path numbers or important dates. So like, for example, we have an 8 and a 30 here. August 30th could be a date, or like 12/16 could be December 16. I think you guys get it. But we have 5, 3, 16, 30, 12, 6, 44, and 8. I also want to point out something kind of cool. Just for me personally, when I'm doing readings, if the number 5 and 3 comes out next to each other, it does make me think of like a spiritual connection or a soul connection, because the number 5 represents the 5D, number 3 represents the 3D. So it's kind of like Spirit's way of saying you have a 3D connection and you also have a 5D connection. But anyway, I am getting a secret admirer type of vibe from this person. So you could have any type of connection with this person, but I'm sort of getting the feeling like they're either secretly wanting to be with you, or they're secretly wanting to be like you. And for some of you, I feel like this could come as a shock. So maybe this is someone who has feelings for you, hopefully mutual, but like you didn't think it or you didn't realize it, or it would kind of shock you to know that this person admires you and wants to be like you. Not that you think they don't like you or something like that, but this is a very just easy hypothetical example. Let's say this person's aesthetic is like very clean, very straight edge, and your aesthetic is more like dark or grungy, like maybe you have a lot of tattoos or something. And so even if you have a good relationship with this person, you might think like, oh, they're probably not really into my aesthetic, or like they probably don't like my tattoos or something like that. But secretly, they think your tattoos are super cool. So it's like maybe a part of you that you kind of assumed they weren't into, whether that's like something about your personality or something you're interested in, or like an aesthetic like we spoke about, that they actually think is like super cool. And probably if they had the courage or if they had the confidence, they would express themselves in a similar way, or they would be a similar way. Another example, which I actually think is what is going on here, I think that this person tends to be more like cautious, more conservative, very by the book, very like sticking to the routine, sticking to the rules. This is the vibe that's coming off of them. And then I feel like you guys might be the more spontaneous type. And so while you're thinking, oh, we're just different like that, or maybe this person thinks I'm kind of messy or something like that, they're actually wishing they could be spontaneous like you, wishing they could be adventurous, wishing they could step out of their comfort zone, wishing they could be more carefree. So that's kind of like the secret admirer vibe that I'm getting from this person. I think that this person feels a very, very strong connection to you, and they definitely feel like you are something of a teacher to them, or something of like a leading example to them. And I'm sort of getting the feeling that this is kind of mutual. Like you might feel the same way about them, that they've taught you a lot and you look up to them a lot. Which I hope that that's the case, because that's really, really sweet. But I'm just looking at the number 44 here, and this is an angel number that makes me think of like divine protection, divine guidance, and also the divine plan, like our destiny. So this person likely feels some elements of fate in how you came into each other's lives, and feels like, you know, you were very much put into each other's lives for a reason. And you've just taught them so much. I feel like you showed this person the parts of them that wanted to come out and shine more, because you were expressing them so freely. And that was something that really inspired them and really lit them up. I also think that this playing it safe could kind of be speaking to how they've been wanting to come towards you and tell you more deeply how they feel about you. But they've been kind of scared and they've been kind of holding back. I do think that this is someone who they're not really prone to taking risks. They seem to be very like by the book, like I said, and follow a specific structure. And I think that this is also someone who is very practical. They seem to kind of think their way through life rather than feel their way through life. However, I think that this is someone who wants to learn more how to let their heart guide, or how to let their spirit guide, and feel their way through life more. I think this is someone who they want to find that balance, because there's definitely a place in life for playing it safe and for having structure and for using our practical, logical, analytical thinking. But there's also a time and place to be spontaneous and to go with our intuition and to be more free-flowing and to come out of the box. And I think that they kind of see you as like a complement to their energy. It's like they want to find a balance between the energies that they've mastered and also like integrate these new exciting energies that you've shown them. And oh my gosh, I really hope that this is mutual, because that would be so cool. It would be like this like yin and yang coming together, where the yin is like I like my yin, but I want to balance it out with some yang. So I got to awaken the yang within me. And then the yang is like, well, I like my yang, but I want to awaken the yin within me so I can have more balance. And you're like teaching each other how to do that. This is like kind of an opposites attract situation that I'm seeing, or just like these two energies that complement each other so well. And it's almost like this person is saying, it just like has to be fate. But yeah, I think this person is incredibly reliable, and like they will always be there for you. I think it's funny. I want to say that this person has been very honest with you, except for when it comes to like the extent, I think, the extent of their feelings for you, or the like how much they care for you, the affection that they feel towards you. Because some of you guys, I feel like you don't realize how much this person cares for you. They may be kind of downplaying it or omitting it a little bit, and it's just because they're like afraid to make that move or to come out of their comfort zone. This could be someone who like vulnerable displays of emotion or like big displays of affection don't really come naturally to them. It might feel kind of awkward. It might feel kind of uncomfortable, but it's like they're trying to change. They're trying to find balance. And they're trying to come out of their shell. And ooh, so with the Tower here, with the Tower and happy success, this could be kind of foreshadowing that this is about to happen for them, that they're about to like come out of their shell and throw their cautions to the wind a little bit and be more free and open around you. But I also think that the Tower could be representing how they feel about you, or how they feel when you came into their life. Because I often see with the Tower, this is like a holy crap, I've never felt this way about someone before. Like I've never felt so intensely. I've never felt such a strong connection. Like, what do I do about this? This is someone who has such deep emotion and such deep passion within them, but it's like they haven't really found the tools yet of like how to bring that out in a healthy and comfortable way. But I feel like the connection with you is something that has really, really helped them in learning that and helped them in discovering that. And then I can also say with discipline and perseverance, oh, we have Saturn and Earth element, which I don't even know if I mentioned before, but like Capricorn and Aquarius could also be significant. Taurus and Virgo could also be significant. I can definitely say that this person is a very hard worker. Like, and they're very down to earth. I get a very like humble, down to earth, laid back vibe from this person. I feel like this is someone who comes across like they really have their shit together, and like they're super responsible, and like they have a really good head on their shoulders. But they're also very chill, and they're really like really non-judgmental. And I think sometimes people misunderstand and think that like, oh, because you have it so together, like you're so put together, you're so successful, you must be judging me, or you must think I'm not good enough, or I'm like, I don't have it together. But they don't. And in fact, they're longing for that kind of spontaneity in their life. And they're longing for adventure, and they're longing for some kind of like pleasure or some kind of passion to be awoken within them. Ooh, this is also, I don't know why, but this person is reminding me of the Magician. So I feel like this person could be a very powerful manifester, but they don't realize it. There's a lot of like dormant energies within this person, and like they're just in the process of unlocking new facets of themselves that I think you see and I think you recognize in them. Ooh, so hopefully by now you could tell if this is someone you know, who this is, if you would like to hear more from them. I'm gonna drink some water. So if you would like to hear further messages from this person, aside from you're really cool, I secretly admire you, I'm so lucky to have you, and you're a really big teacher for me, and I feel destiny in our connection, then stick around because we're gonna find out even more. think I've been like, for groups 1 and 2, I've been laying out the crystals that come up. I have azurite with malachite. This is one of them, I think, but I don't just have azurite. And then I don't have turquoise, but this kind of looks like it. So let's just use this stone to represent both of them. We have to get a little bit creative. Okay. All right, my group number 3s. What else does this person want to tell you? We have the 2 of Wands. Oh, wow. Wow. We have the Ace of Swords. The Seeker of Swords. So this is the Page of Swords. Yeah. Oh no. I want them to be laid out straight. And then we have the Anchor, which is the Emperor. It's funny, you know, of course I want my cards to be laid out nice and straight, but I'm usually not so like nitpicky about it. So that might be a trait of this person, especially if they have like Virgo or 6th house energy to them. But I think it's really cool that we have the 2 of Wands here. And I was just talking about this, I think yesterday, how one of the messages with the 2 of Wands for me is like exploring new sides of yourself, exploring new facets of your personality, new interests, a passion within you that you haven't really like explored yet. I think there's just a lot of like self-exploration that goes on both of your ends when you're with each other. You guys are literally like the yin and yang symbol, you know, like one of you is the white blob with the little black circle in it, and one of you is the black blob with the little white circle in it. And so when you come together, you allow each other to see what is within you that wants to come out. And the more I read this energy, I do think that this is a mutual thing. So maybe what they're really here to tell you is to kind of confirm to you that the feeling is mutual and the experience is mutual. Not just that experience of self-discovery, but the experience of like feeling the divinity in what's going on, feeling the divine orchestration and like the deep spiritual pull in what is going on here. Like that acknowledgement that this is something very significant, that this is something that was planned. We plan to come together. We plan to learn from each other. And I think the Ace of Swords is such a beautiful card to have here as well, because it talks about epiphanies. It can talk about like intuitive hits and downloads. So something that this person might wish that they could tell you, but they don't know how, or they're afraid, or they feel like it's going to sound weird, is that they have received some sort of like download about this connection, or some sort of intuitive hits about it. But I think that this is also indicating just how clear they are on their feelings and intentions towards you. And this can also be a sign of communication, especially imminent communication. I just had someone recently who sent me a message that they pulled the Ace of Swords for communication, like when someone was going to reach out to them, or when they were going to have a particular conversation with someone, and they said that it happened in a week. And I saw that very recently, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. So the next week might be significant for you and this person in terms of like an eye-opening conversation, or more like direct and open communication, because we know that this person's kind of been like holding back, or like not really sure how to come forward yet. And the 2 of Wands, it can also be the sign of a partnership. So I feel like this person just wants to be closer partners with you, whether that's like romantic, friendship-wise, business-wise. I will say I'm not getting super like family vibes from this group, although I guess it could be. But there's a feeling of like, I want to team up with you. I want to partner up with you for something. A romantic relationship, a friendship, a business endeavor. And I want to like build something with you. I want to build an empire with you. That's what I'm thinking of with the Emperor here. And they're saying like, you make me feel more confident in myself, and you make me feel empowered, and you make me feel so sure about what I want. Like, I might look like I have it all together, but I've always had this kind of doubt within me, or this kind of uncertainty within me of like, what am I doing with my life? And this is so real, you guys. Like, I've met people where I'm like, oh my gosh, they have their life made for them. Like, they're living the dream life. And then I'll talk to them and they're like, yeah, I don't really know what I want to do in my future. And I'm like, what? You are living the future. You are living the dream. So I think they might tell you like, I'm not as put together as I seem, or I'm not as sure of myself as I seem. I still don't really know what I'm trying to do here on this earth, or like who I'm really trying to be. But when I'm with you, when I talk to you, I feel empowered, and I feel like I know myself more and more, and like I can stand proudly in who I am more and more. And this might sound dramatic, but it's coming through like I've never felt so sure about something. You're helping me to become more and more sure of who I am, what I truly want. And one of those things is to be closer to you, or is to like partner up with you. With the Seeker of Swords here, with the Page of Swords here, there's definitely a friendship that is desired here. Even if it will evolve to something romantic in the future, I feel like this is a connection that has started as a friendship, or they're like desiring to start from friendship. I also think that this is indicating that they talk about you in a good way. Like, they might tell a lot of wonderful stories about you to their friends, to their family, to people at their work. Like, they're just telling everybody about how amazing you are. I also think there's a part of them, I feel like you could definitely have a telepathic connection to this person, and there's like a part of them that wonders, but then they feel kind of crazy. It's almost like I can hear you talking to me. It's almost like I can feel what you would say to me in this moment. So like, they're experiencing that phenomenon, but they're not sure of it, or like they don't know how to tell you. But you're definitely in that form of communication. Also, the Page of Swords, I just have to mention it when it comes out, that sometimes it makes me think of like languages, language learning, or language barriers. If you have a language barrier with this person, they might be working on fixing that. And like, they want to let you know that they will make their best efforts, whatever it is, whether it's a language barrier or just like an emotional barrier. I think this is indicating that they intend to make their best efforts to break through this barrier. And the Emperor, in cases like this, also gives me a feeling of someone who's not going anywhere. So like, as long as you want this person in your life, they will essentially be there forever, or they will be there indefinitely. Like, this is someone who really has intentions to stick around, to settle down with you if that's something that you want. Like, they're not going to change their mind, and they're not going to go anywhere. And I just heard like, being with you is true freedom. You know, like, some people might think not committing to anyone and just like running around on your own is true freedom, but they're saying being with you is true freedom, because you have showed me how to free myself through knowing myself. And I feel the most free, and I feel the most empowered when I am around you. And that's such a beautiful thing about the Two of Wands partnership, is that it's a partnership that allows us to embrace our individuality and really like come into our own, and still, you know, have our freedom, and have, what would you call it? We can still be our own person, is what I'm trying to say. I think you've just been such an eye-opening presence in this person's life and such a blessing. And that's what they really want to tell you. So there's a couple more oracle decks that I want to use. So let's start with the first one. What else does group number 3's person want them to know? So this card says you're going the wrong way. And this card says confused. Wow. It's like, I feel like you served as some kind of divine redirection for them. I feel like, I think you've given them a lot of realizations, but I think you've made this person realize that they need to make some radical change in their life, or like really significantly change the direction of their life. I don't know if this is something that they've told you yet, or if they're still just like thinking about it, but you kind of help them uncover a really huge, I guess, misalignment in their life. Like the direction that they were going in, the version of success that they were striving for, or the version of themselves that they were striving for, they're like, no, this isn't it. Because once they got in touch with themselves, they realized like, no, that's not what I really want. I'm looking at, I guess technically, if this person is facing us, their heart would be on this side. But I just noticed, like, at least it's the left from where I'm looking at it. They have like the 8 pointed stars over their heart. This star reminds me of star seeds, and it reminds me just of unconventionality and embracing your unconventionality. So this person might have been down a very like conventional, secure path, and everyone thought they had it all together. But they're having this epiphany now of like, oh crap, wait a minute. Like, this is not the path for me. And I feel like this confusion, like people running around like, oh shit, what do I do? That's kind of what happens after the tower. But then after the tower comes the star. So it's like something had to fall apart in their life, and they had to go through this period of confusion, but now the star is here. Now they understand the future that they really want to move towards. Wow. So you were definitely, like, from a spiritual perspective, I feel like their higher self is just letting you know that you were definitely a huge catalyst in their life. To like basically reevaluate the whole direction that they were going in and realize like, I have to make some radical change to realign with myself. And even though that can be an uncomfortable process, I think that both their human self and their soul is incredibly grateful for that. Okay, so let's get a couple cards from the final deck. And it's funny, the next deck I'm using is a Lemurian deck. So that's a Starseed deck. Okay, so we have the magic, oh my gosh. It says it's the magic mirror, and it says like, when you face yourself, you can create a bright future. Oh my gosh. So basically like summing up what we've talked about in this reading. By facing yourself, you'll create a bright future. And I feel like you are kind of each other's magic mirror. Like when you look, you see not your external reflection, but you see reflected back to you what is inside you. We also have the number 19 here, which reduces to 1, the number of new beginnings, the number of finding confidence, of feeling empowered, of taking action. There's just endless gratitude. And then we have the number 16, which correlates to the tower. And then this correlates to the sun. So there's this feeling of like, sorry, I just had a little burp. Oh, it's like this. I feel like this is also them saying, I will follow you. Like you're guiding them. And I think they're guiding you as well. I definitely feel like all of this is very mutual. There's like a tower moment going on here, and then there's the star and the sun. So there's this confusion, there's things falling apart, but then there's freedom, then there's release, then there's joy. They're like, it's almost like they're deprogramming things, like they're getting rid of mental programs, societal programs that haven't served them, and getting rid of this rigid idea of what having it put together looks like, or what having it made looks like, or even abandoning that idea altogether, because it's not like we get to that goal and then we stop. Like we're always living, we're always changing, we're always expanding. I think you're helping this person like to let go and be more in their feminine energy. So maybe they're teaching you how to be in your masculine energy. But here we have, this is like, what would you call this? The palace, the kingdom. I literally got this card yesterday. I should have Googled this word, but it's basically like the palace of the goddess of wind, or the goddess of air. And it says that the key, focus is the key to use your powers. So focus your thoughts. Ooh. That sounds like advice for manifestation, which is funny because this card reminded me of the magician. So this is your sign from this person to focus on the future that you really want. The future with them, like what kind of future you want with them, and just what kind of future you want for yourself. With the Two of Wands, it's really like we move forward together. As long as you want, of course. We move forward together. And our individual futures, it's like as our individual futures grow and as our individual manifestations come to be, we grow together as a partnership. We like move forward together as individuals, but also as like a unit that supports each other. Wow. The key is to focus. The key is to focus your thoughts and focus your intentions. And that kind of looks like what this person is doing in meditation. If this isn't something that you guys do already, they could be suggesting to you to just take a few minutes every day just for visualization, like just for focusing your intentions on some goal or on some desired outcome. Whether that involves them or if it's just an individual thing, but they believe in you so much, and I think they're here to help you remember who you are as well. And part of that is being the divine creator that you are, the master manifester that you are. And the more you learn how to direct your focus, shift your focus when it needs to be shifted, and to, I want to say like culminate your focus. It's like the more you focus your energy somewhere, the energy there grows and grows and grows and grows. And so they're encouraging you to like use that to your advantage and to really work that skill. Okay, so group number 3s, those are all the messages I and this person have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. That will be linked in the description and the pinned comment. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3s, I'm sending so much love to you, to this beautiful person. You're both beautiful. And to your spirit guides and your spiritual team, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number fours, so if you guys chose the pink Chalcedony, this is going to be your reading. So the first thing that we're going to do is figure out who this loved one is who has a message for you today, and we're going to do that by looking at these cards, and then we're going to move into the messages. So you can think of this part of the reading as an energy check, meaning if the person I'm describing here does sound like someone you know and also someone you would like to hear from, then you can continue watching. However, if it doesn't sound like someone you know, or if it doesn't sound like someone you would like to hear from, then you may want to try listening to another group, or this might just not be your reading today. But I did want to mention a couple things. Right before I started filming for this group, I suddenly got a craving for sweets, so I thought that that might be significant to this group. For example, this loved one who's coming forward could have a sweet tooth. They could be one to, you know, get into the treats, or there could be something significant about some kind of sweets that they give you or that they make for you. And then the other thing was that I had like the word silver lining very strongly in my mind, almost as if they're giving you this message of like, there's good and bad in life, but you always have to keep looking for that silver lining, keep looking for the bright side. So I wanted to mention those two things, but without further ado, let's take a look at your cards now. So to start off, we have the World, the Ten of Coins, and Seven of Wands. And then for the Oracle cards, we have the Sacred Temple, Third House, Communication, and Conflict. And then we have Intuition, Aquamarine, Water Element, and Consciousness, Lapis Lazuli, Third Eye Chakra. Yay! So for some reason, I've been feeling like laying out the crystals that appear on these cards, and I actually have both of these, which was not the case for all of the groups, but I definitely have. Oh my gosh! And they're sitting right next to each other in my crystal bucket. They were like right beside each other. So we have Aquamarine here and Lapis Lazuli here. The first thing that I want to do is just go over some things that could be a hint of who this person is. So for zodiac signs with the World, we have all of the fixed signs. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The Ten of Coins is related to Mercury in Virgo, and the Seven of Wands is related to Mars in Leo. The third house with communication could be indicating Gemini energy. Also, I think that, oh man, I always get these mixed up. Aquamarine is either the birthstone for February or March. I want to say March. I think that it's March, so that could be a significant month. And then I also want to take a look at the numbers on these cards because they could be significant in terms of someone's age or the age gap, the number of years between the two of you. Could also be life path numbers or the numbers in important dates. So for example, like 10 and 4 could be October 4th, or like 8 and 21 could be August 21st or something like that. So the numbers that we have here are 21, 10, 7, 8, 2, 5, 41, and 4. And for this group, particularly like more so than the other groups, there is a stronger feeling that this loved one is on the other side. And the reason I'm saying this is because, first of all, this sacred temple, it definitely looks like a place other than Earth. It looks like something that might exist in a higher dimension. And we have 5 and spirit here. So it's making me think of like a spirit in the 5th dimension. We also have like intuition, consciousness, the third eye chakra, water element. This would lead me to believe that you experience your connection to this person through your intuition, through your psychic abilities, and through your emotions, like feeling them in your heart. And even like the bridge on this world card, I think there is some euphemism, isn't it, for animals? Like they cross over a bridge when they go to the other side. So this could be like a person or an animal who's on the other side, watching over you. Or I could say at the very least that you're not physically with them at this time. With the world here, this could be an indication that they are far away from you in another, probably quite far away, like in another city, country, continent, or that you're in some sort of separation right now. But I think for most of you, this is someone who is watching over you on the other side. You have, because it's like there's really a strong emphasis here on like the psychic connection, the telepathic connection, the spiritual connection. That's how this person is reaching out to you. I guess it could also be someone like you're not together physically, but you communicate a lot in the 5D, or like maybe you haven't met them yet or something like that. I'm just trying to think of things that this energy could represent other than like being a deceased loved one, but I do feel like that's the case for most of you. And I think that this is someone who, when they are physically with you, but even from the other side, they have a very soothing energy over you, because both of these crystals and just these colors, like the blues and greens, they have a very healing and soothing energy. And I'm looking at the blue flowers, I'm looking at the blue sea, the green lily pads. Like it's a very calming presence. This person, I keep feeling like saying person or animal, but I'm just gonna keep saying person. This person could like send you birds as a way to communicate with you and let you know that they're around you. Or their aura could be a bluey green color, or both. But just to talk a little bit about traits of them, with the world here and the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like this is someone who did work very hard for, or does work very hard for material security and to establish a strong home. This is someone who could have been an immigrant or like traveled from far away for a better life, but it's like someone who is determined to find their security in the world, someone who is determined to create wealth. And it's not for materialistic purposes, but it's like to take care of their loved ones. Like this is someone who really worked their butt off to make it in life and to care for their family and to leave behind a better life for their children or for the next generation. And I feel like they are successful, or they were successful in doing that, because the world represents this feeling of completion, this feeling of fulfillment and achievement. So I know that this person has achieved a lot in their life, and did leave behind like some sort of legacy, or did leave behind a good life for their family and for the ones that came after them. And I'm also thinking with the world, like, if this is someone who has passed over, this could be them saying like, I really feel, and that could be their message for you, like not to worry about them, because they really feel like they did everything that they set out to do. They feel like they accomplished all of the goals that they wanted to reach. And maybe now as a spirit, they recognize like, I did, carry out what my soul wanted to accomplish in this incarnation. And so like they're leaving with this sense of victory and with this sense of fulfillment. And I also think with this sense of pride. The 10 of Pentacles could be indicating that this is a family member or someone you considered family who was very, very close to you. And I think with communication right underneath this 10 of Pentacles, this is really just indicating that they're not going anywhere, because the 10 of Coins to me, it's so firmly rooted. It's such a strong foundation. It represents loyalty to me. It represents consistency, reliability. So in the case, like, if this was someone who lived far away from you, I feel like this is someone who would have always made an effort to like reach out and communicate to you, whether that was like phone calls, sending you letters. Like, it's, even if you were physically far away from them, you never really felt like they were gone, because they were always letting you know, like, I'm here, I miss you, I love you, I'm working hard for you. I feel like my voice is getting kind of husky. Maybe that's a trait of this person, or maybe it's just because I'm filming group 4 and my voice is tired, but I noticed my voice like start to get a little bit husky or like a little bit scratchy. Oh wow, but you know what? With communication here and with these throat chakra colors here, maybe there's like some kind of regret here. Like there was some things that were left unsaid, some things that they wish they expressed to you more, or that you wish you expressed to them more while you could. But they're letting you know not to worry, because obviously with this psychic connection that you have, and just the strong emotional bond that you have, even if you didn't say it in words, they know. They can feel it from your energy, and they wouldn't want you to feel regret or sadness or feel guilty, whatever it might be, if there were some things that were left unsaid, or if you felt like you didn't express a feeling of yours and like convey it to them to the fullest extent. They're saying like, don't worry, because I know. And I am on one hand thinking of a relative and just like, I wish I told you more how much I loved you. But I'm also thinking of a companion animal, because obviously we cannot talk to each other in the 3D, right? So sometimes we wonder, like, I hope that my animal friend like knows how much I love them, and I hope they know like I'm sorry for the times that I ever hurt them or scared them. Like I hope that conveys to them, because I could never really, like, I could tell them, but I don't know if they understand. So if you're resonating with this being like a companion animal, I feel like they're on the other side saying like, don't worry, because I know. Like I could always sense that you felt that way about me, and I feel the same way about you, and don't worry about it. Like I understand now. Like I understand all of those things that you wanted to say to me. And because there's such a strong feeling of like a family working hard and pushing through tough times, this could very well be like an animal who got your family through a lot of tough times, and like was kind of like that healing or soothing presence, that oasis that was there for you when you got home. Like you come home and you're completely drained, and you just have this companion who washes all of that stress away. And I should say this could very well be both, like, because I think there was one other group that had more than one loved one coming through. So it could be like both a relative and a companion animal that is coming through. But one thing that I think that they would want to say to you with the 7 of Wands and conflict is to ask them for help more, because they can help you more than you know. Their higher self can pull some, yeah, literally like this person on the boat, they can pull some strings for you. Like when things are getting a little bit tough in life, or very tough in life, don't feel like you have to push through it on your own. Because with the 7 of Wands here, there's 2 things I think they're saying with this. One is that you might be working yourself too much, like you're spreading yourself too thin without asking for help. Or they're saying whatever it is that you're dealing with, like it's worth the fight. And like, I will always lend a helping hand. Like it's anything for you. It's always worth it for you, whatever it is. So human, animal, or both, their higher self can do a lot for you. And I think this is them, yeah, with that loyalty and that reliability we see with the 10 of coins. Like, don't hesitate. You can always reach out to me, whatever you're going through. You can always ask me for help, because I can work some magic, you know? I have this. Wait a minute. Yes. This is the number 21, which reduces to 3. And then we have the number 5 here. And I was just saying to another group, like when the numbers 3 and 5 appear together, it makes me think of that bridge between the 3D and the spirit world. And it's like, we have this bridge now. Like I have this bridge from earth to the spirit world, and I can use my spirit gifts to help you more than you realize. Like, I'm always around you. I'm always talking to you. And I can like read your emotions towards me, or your thoughts towards me anyway. So like, I can tell when you're struggling. You just have to ask. Like, don't ever hesitate to ask. Maybe this is someone who like if there's one thing that they regret, like they wish that they could have helped you out more. They wish that they could have been there more for you. And it's not for a lack of wanting to. I think it might have to do with the physical distance that existed between the two of you, or like they didn't get to see you as often. But they might have this feeling of like, I wish that we could have bonded a little bit more, or like spent more time physically together. But my job of guiding you and my job of helping you is not over. Just because I'm not here, finger quotes, anymore, because I am here, but just because I'm not physically here, it doesn't mean that my job of loving you and protecting you and helping you is over. I'm still very much in that role, and I'm still very much like eager to take on that role. And if you have children, or if you have children in the future, I'm gonna look after them as well. Because it's like, this is your family, or this is someone who is like close to you like family, and would consider like your family to be their loved ones as well. Wow, that's such a sweet energy. So if this sounds like someone you know, or someone you would like to hear more from, then stick around, because we're gonna get into the next tarot deck. And actually, I'm gonna drink some water, and maybe that will help for my husky voice. I'm just looking out the window, and there's like a plane flying overhead. So maybe they were in a faraway place, or there's like, you know, it was like a long distance situation. Okay, for my lovely group number 4s. Oh, you know what's so interesting? I'm just thinking of that silver lining message at the beginning of the reading. Like, every cloud has a silver lining, and they're like encouraging you to find the bright side through your hard times in life. And if we look at some of these images, like here in the world, which represents the physical plane, there's all these clouds in the sky and you can't see ahead. In the conflict card, there's like clouds and fog in the sky. But the plane that was just flying overhead, and the sacred temple that exists in the higher dimension, is over the clouds. So they have a clear view. So they're saying, like, because I have this higher perspective, I can see to the other side. Like, I can see what lies on the other side of your confusion and on the other side of your obstacles. And I can give you little heads up, or a big heads up. I think they really just want to be of service to you. And maybe they're in the process of finding like a method of communication that's really clear and that really works. Having these crystals could maybe help to open up the channel of communication. Aquamarine and lapis lazuli. They're both quite, I think they're both quite reasonable. At least if you get this kind of little tumbled version. Okay, my group number 4s. Oh, we have strength. Oh my gosh, this is gonna make me cry. Like, I'm hearing you're my best friend. And for some reason, I just envisioned like a dog and them being like, you're my best friend in the world. The dog could just be a symbol of loyalty. But I feel like we definitely have some animals in this group. Like, I'm feeling that particularly strong for this group. But strength is a card that does make me think of soul best friends. So like, you know, your higher selves are best buddies. And you'll definitely be together in the next life. And I think they're always dropping you signs that they're around. This is Leo energy as well. We have the 10 of Swords. the Ten of Cups. Wow. I'm just looking at the similarity in these. And the Six of Cups. Oh, this is like a soulmate energy as well. Both of these are just really indicating to me how close your souls are. And there's something very, very pure about this spirit with the Six of Cups here. This is making me think of purity. This is making me think of innocence, strength. It's making me think of loyalty, compassion. Like, this is someone who is always by your side. You might have known this person or known this animal since you were a child, and have really a lot of like sweet memories with them. It's kind of like the most pure memories, or the most like simple memories. You know, when you look back in your life, you're like, oh, life used to be so simple. It used to be so easy. Like, you look back to your days of innocence. I feel like a lot of those best memories for you involve them. And they would probably say the same about you. But yeah, I just heard with this, like, you're my best friend. They always felt like a really special bond with you. But I do think that there's a very literal meaning to this card, in that their message for you is stay strong. Oh, I'm feeling like teary-eyed because I'm just like remembering when I first moved to Japan. That was like what my grandpa said to me. He said, stay strong and I love you always. Oh my gosh, that's gonna make me cry. Anyway, but yeah, they're saying to stay strong. Obviously, they're here to help you stay strong, but they believe in you, and they know that you're a tough cookie. They know that you're a strong and tough cookie. And what they're showing me here, it's interesting that we have two tens, because tens simultaneously represent endings, but they also represent new beginnings, because endings cannot exist without a new beginning. After the nighttime comes, the daytime comes. After winter comes, spring comes, and it starts over again. I feel like this is a really glass half full type of person. So like, if you have a partially, oh my gosh, there's another plane. Cool. If you, and there's a bird flying overhead too. Yeah, birds. Oh, actually, birds and planes could be signs that this person is watching over you, because they're literally like flying above you. So if you ever see a bird or a plane flying overhead, I feel like that could be their way of saying like, I'm here, I'm looking over you, and I love you. But what was I saying? Yes, that this is a very like glass half full type of person. Like, so if there's a sky that's partially sunny and partially cloudy, they will focus on the sun. If there's clouds, they will focus on the silver linings. This might be someone who said, you know, like, every time God or the universe closes a door, they open a window. Like, they're that type of person, always optimistic and looking to the bright side. So, you know, when there is an ending, there will be a new beginning. I'm also thinking of that quote, like, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. And I'm just looking at how similar these cards are. Like, we have the hands stretched out, the eye in the middle, but they're two very different energies. I think it's very telling that the Ten of Swords came out first though, and then the Ten of Cups came out after, because, you know, this represents a painful ending, as you can literally see. And like, on the traditional artwork, we have someone who is like lying down with swords in their back, like they're just left to die. It's very dramatic, and there's this feeling of like, it's the end of the world. And I think what they're saying here is like, there's always going to be pain in this life. Things are always like, nothing lasts forever. And yes, in that moment it hurts, and in that moment it feels like the end of the world, and you don't know when you're going to see the sun again. And that's another thing with the Ten of Swords. The sky is black, but just on the horizon you can see a yellow sky. Like, the sun is just starting to come up. So, you know, tough times in this life are inevitable. And I think this is someone who really knows that. Like, they've really been through tough times in their life, and they came out on top. And they're just reminding you that, like, the darkest of moments come before the happiest of moments in your life. This is also very much like, you know, if we didn't have the dark, we wouldn't know the light, or we wouldn't be able to appreciate the light for how beautiful it is. And I think that they're telling you here that some of the best days of your life are yet to come. Like, you have so many exciting new beginnings, new experiences to come. So much, like, there's people that you're gonna fall in love with and who are gonna fall in love with you that you haven't even met yet. There's beautiful sights around the world that you're going to see. I think with all those planes in the world and the boat here, like, you will travel, you will see new sights, you'll bask in the beauty of the world. Like, there's so much joy that you don't know yet, but I'm gonna be right there with you. So there's always these 10 of Swords moments. There's always these painful endings, but then you get the 10 of Cups after that, which is, this is like one of the happiest cards in tarot. It's like you're completely emotionally fulfilled and you're completely at peace. And it's a cycle that continues. Like, we're always kind of experiencing both of these as we move through life, but you have the strength and you have the power to choose which you will focus on. And no matter where you might find yourself, you have the power to find the beauty in your situation, to find the beauty in the good, the bad, or to find the value in all the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's what life is. Life is all of it. If we were, I guess, and even strength, it's like the adversities of life really do shape you. And this is maybe kind of like a sense of humor coming through, but it's like, if nothing bad ever happened to you, if you've never had a struggle in your life, you would be a very boring person and you would be a very unevolved person, and life would be bland because you wouldn't even really recognize what light is if all you had is light. If you never experience anything that is not it, then you can't really experience something that is it. And I just noticed the transition of this card that's going from black and white to rainbow. So they're really showing, like, stay strong, it gets better. Don't be afraid to ask for help because I'm right here. Like, you're my best friend. I'm not going anywhere. And we'll get through it. And you always have the memories of me. Those are still there. Those are still real. And like, when it gets tough, I guess they hope that when it gets tough, you can look back and smile rather than like looking back and being sad. They want you to have those memories fondly. Like, remember the fun times you had together, the funny things that they did, like the cute or funny things that they did, or like the sweets that they gave you, and let that like be your spark and light you up and like be your fuel to keep going. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional for this group. So let's move on to the next oracle decks. Again, there's that feeling of children. Like, if you guys have a child, especially if you have a small child, they might kind of freak you out in that, like, they could see this person or see this animal again, or both. For example, I'm just thinking, like, this is just a hypothetical example, but let's say you have a grandparent who passed on, and then you have a child, and then they say like, oh, I saw Papa in your room, or I don't know, that sounds scary, but like, it is kind of scary. Or they use some nickname or some name that they shouldn't know, or like they describe what they look like and it's exactly right. Like, I saw a little black dog with a white patch on his bum, like running down the hallway or something. Yeah, so if you have especially a small child, they might surprise you in that way, or maybe this is something that's happened before. Or this loved one could also be like reassuring to you that a child is on the way, if that's something you're looking forward to. But let's take a look at the next oracle cards. Oh no, it says I love you. Oh my gosh. And I don't even have to add anything to this, but it's interesting that we have 3 cats here, so there could be multiple animals. Or like if you have an animal on the other side, like they're gonna make sure, they could have brought your current companion animal to you, or they're gonna make sure that they bring you like the best future companion animal, if that makes sense. Like your companion animal who's on the other side like is scouting for your next friend and is gonna like bring your next friend to you. And we have a time for learning. I think that makes a lot of sense. I feel like for those who, I mean, I feel like most of you do have a human a human in here, but I feel like this is really their philosophy of life. Like, and I just saw 3113, by the way, which is a mirroring angel number. Life is really just an experience, like to learn and grow, and life is worth living if we became stronger, if we built our character, and if we learned something. I feel like this is, I would describe this energy as like a realistic optimist, you know? So they're not like, oh, everything is all sunshine and rainbows all the time. They're like, there's a lot of beautiful things in life and there's a lot of shit in life. And we have to embrace the shit because the shit teaches us lessons and the shit makes us stronger. And then we appreciate the beautiful things even more. And we have to fight through to see the next beautiful day and to create like another generation that will have more beautiful days than we did. And maybe they're like hoping that in some way you would carry on that legacy, even if you don't have children, just to like, I think they're saying with the 6 of Cups too, like remember me and like remember what I've taught you, remember my philosophies. I mean, I'll always be there to remind you, but now let's go to the final deck. Ooh, is the Goddess of Earth. Man, I keep forgetting. So this is like the 3rd time that I pulled an oracle deck with like this last word, and I like understand vaguely that it's talking about like the palace or the kingdom of this goddess, but I keep forgetting to like Google it and like find out the exact word. But anyway, it's, you guys just need the gist of it. I just need to know the gist of it. This is the Goddess of Earth. Ooh, and it says like, ooh, wow, the oh, maybe it's like temple actually, or like the shrine. But anyway, it's basically saying that the physical is a sacred shrine for the soul. Wow. The physical is a sacred shrine for the soul. So I am not my physical body. I just temporarily inhabited a physical body. And even if the physical form is gone, I'm still very much here. This could also be a message for them telling you, like, honor your physical body, take care of your health, try to keep your youth and keep your vitality for as long as you can. You can have youth at any age and you can have vitality at any age. So take good care of yourself. And we have, ooh, shapeshifter. That's so spooky. Like, we're just talking about, like, I didn't leave, I just changed my form. I went from a physical form to another form. And now we have shapeshifter. I'm also noticing that like both of these numbers reduce to 7. So 7 is a number that, maybe because it rhymes with heaven, it makes me think of heaven, but it makes me think of like paradise, perfection. It makes me think of the crown chakra, which gives you that capacity to contact the higher dimensions. But yeah, like this is time, it's time for a beautiful major transformation. So I think they're even encouraging you to see the beauty in this transformation that has taken place, because yeah, it's like when a door closes, a window opens. When something is taken away, something else is given. And so it's like this connection has just changed shape. And in some ways, you might even be able to bond closer, like feel a stronger psychic bond or spiritual bond or emotional bond, or feel a stronger appreciation in this new form, in this new dynamic. Like there's also beauty of this new dynamic to be explored. So, wow, that was an emotional one. I definitely got teary at a couple points in there, but group number 4, those are all the messages that I'm seeing for you. So I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings, as well as new moon and full moon readings. That will be linked in the description and in the pinned comment. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, and I just saw 3636, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 4 is I'm sending so much love to you, so much love to your loved one or loved ones, if you felt that there were multiple coming through in this reading. And much love to your spiritual teams as well. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.